Asics made some drastic changes to the Nimbus line a couple years ago, firmly placing the Nimbus in the max cushion category and making bold claims that it was the most comfortable running shoe on the market. 2 years later, and relatively small changes here and there, have they finally made the perfect high stack premium daily trainer? This is my first impressions review of the Asics Gel-Nimbus 27. 18.61 miles or 30.1 kilometers right out of the box. Average heart rate of 144, 529 per kilometer pace. Exactly what I expected out of this shoe. And today we are going to be talking all about my first impressions in the Asics Gel-Nimbus 27. And to get the disclosure out of the way right off the bat, this was a shoe that I purchased with my own money. No one is paying me to make this video. My thoughts and my opinions are definitely my own. And if after watching this video you are thinking you want to give the Nimbus 27 a try, click on the link in the description down below or head on over to themzfit.com where you will find videos and links to products including shoes that my family have tried and tested. Now these are affiliate links, and although they may not impact your purchase, they go a long way to supporting this little channel that we are absolutely trying to grow. Now, I actually don't have a long history with the Nimbus line, but I have shared lots of miles in the Nimbus 25, putting a little bit over 600 miles into that shoe, running and a whole lot more walking after that. And in fact, the run today reminded me of the Nimbus 25 in that when I bought that shoe, I put the sandals I wore into the running shoe store in the shoebox, walked out the door, and I think I logged around 25 kilometers on that day. This time around, I bought the 27 last night, threw them on this morning, and ran 30 kilometers, or that little bit over 18 and a half miles. But before we get into my initial thoughts, let's go through some of the specs. The Nimbus 27 has a listed weight of 10.8 ounces or 305 grams in a US men's size 9. However, in my US men's size 13, it comes in at 365 grams. It has a stack height of 44 millimeters in the heel and 36 millimeters in the 4'4" and 8 millimeter drop. The upper is an engineered jacquard mesh. The midsole is Flight Foam Blast Plus Eco, and the price is $165 US or $215 Canadian. So as mentioned earlier, these are my initial thoughts, and once I have had time to run a few more times in this shoe, I will come back and do an absolute full review after I've broken it in just a little bit more. But right off the bat, at least for my foot, this shoe fits me perfectly. They say when you walk into a running shoe store and start trying on a shoe, you should put a lot of value in the shoe that feels right as soon as you put it on. And the Nimbus does that for me. It did it for me in the 25. It did it for me in the 27. I walked into the store, they handed me the shoe, I laced it up, took about a 10-meter jog back and forth around the store, and was immediately convinced that the shoe fit me really well. Same thing this morning. Did not bother with runner's knot, just put them on, laced them up, left the house, met up with the guys, and hammered out that long run. Not one adjustment, not one fiddling with the tongue. They just worked. Also, at least on that first run, I will say that I liked what they did with the upper. Now, I think they made the right move with the changes that they made. You got to keep in mind that I am talking about compared to the 25, as I actually didn't run it in the 26. But with the 25, I still found it really comfortable. But I think people are going to like the change to that jacquard mesh and the increase in breathability over that shoe. Lacing system was absolutely fine. They kept the stretchy tongue, which I absolutely love. And the padding around the heel collar almost feels borderline excessive. But then I remember the main reason why I actually bought this shoe in the first place, and it was all that comfort. And that is exactly what all that padding delivers. A quick look at the midsole, where they are again using the FF Blast Plus Eco that we have seen in the previous two models. They increased the stack height by 2 millimeters over last year and managed to do that somehow without actually increasing the weight. I think the 27 is actually just slightly lighter than the 26. Now, especially with the 25 came out, because it was such a drastic change over the previous Nimbus shoes and the way Asics marketed that shoe, everyone was talking about just how comfortable and pillow-like the Nimbus felt. And I absolutely agree that it feels very comfortable and has tons of protection, but to my foot, the foam in the Nimbus is not super soft and squishy like some other max cushion shoes out there, like the New Balance More V5, which I know for some people is exactly what they're looking for in a max cushion recovery day, easy day run shoe. And that can feel really awesome. But one of the reasons why I put so many miles in the Nimbus 25 and potentially am going to put so many miles into the Nimbus 27 is that FF Blast Plus Eco Eco has a certain amount of dense, firm feeling to it that keeps me from getting lost in the foam. It allows me to push off without feeling like I'm running in sand, which at least on that first run felt like I could pick up the pace without too much trouble. I can get away with doing some strides and steady miles in this. It's not a speed day shoe for me, but it can certainly cruise along at a pace faster than easy. But to be clear, it is a soft shoe. It is just not as soft as some other max cushion shoes out there. Outsole-wise, we are using the A-Hard Plus rubber back here in the heel, which has always seemed to last a pretty long time, a really long time in the 25. And throughout the rest of the shoe, they're using the hybrid Asics grip. For this time of the year where I live, conditions were actually really, really good today. Mother Nature's been nice to us. But I did get the chance to run on pavement, concrete, crushed rock, packed snow, and some ice. And it did okay in all those conditions, but I felt like in the packed snow and ice, it struggled a bit. Not horrible, just not giving me the confidence that I get from some other running shoes, from some other running shoe brands. Also, it was pretty loud and slappy when it was on the ground on that pavement that we were running on. And my guess is it comes down to a couple of things. The rubber seems fairly hard, at least in the cold weather that my first run was in. And the bottom of the shoe is very flat and very, very wide. All that seems to contribute to that slapping sound. Probably that's more of an annoyance to the people that I'm running with and less of an annoyance to me, but it's a thing. Overall impressions are that to me, Asics did not screw up a good thing. My guess is that this shoe is going to fit into my rotation as a recovery day, easy day shoe, which really is no surprise. I think the reason why I like this shoe more than something that might have a bit more squish is that the last thing I want in a recovery day shoe is to feel like I'm fighting to keep any sort of pace at all when my legs are tired and just a little bit beat up. So great shoe, great first run, and I can't wait to put in more miles and bring you more thoughts on whether it will continue to be the shoe that stays in my rotation. That's it, guys. My name is Matt, and this has been What Matters to Matt, and ultimately, what matters to me most is my family. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4,